I wanted to show how to access the tutorial that Sean Krause created. It's a very nice tutorial in our project site. If you go to our class site under projects and generative design, Sean has posted sample content or sample instructional content in the folder. So if you go to this link to our shared folder drive, click there. He has Grasshopper Lessons by Sean Krause, lesson 00, just a real basic, very fine example of how to get started with Grasshopper. So you can click the text here, and he says download the 3D and GH files, launch Rhino, open 3DM, run Grasshopper. Inside the file, look at the definition file. So I'll do that real quick. So basically, if you click both of these, or you can click back and download the whole lesson if you want to. You can click, and you can't see it on this screen, but it's downloaded into a zip folder. So I'm going to show in that folder. There it is. There's the folder, and I'm going to extract those to lesson 00, and then double click there. Then in each of those files, set those up, launch Rhino, and I just upgraded Rhino, so it's going to take a second here. I'm using work in progress 7, Rhino 7. Now I'm going to just open the reference file into Rhino, and you can see that he's created 2 rectangles and 2 points just in Rhino. And now I'm going to launch Grasshopper, and you can just close out these introductory screens if you wish, and just go File, New to start a new document. Ideally, it's best to have 2 monitors for doing Grasshopper work, but with the screen recording, I'm just going to set this up side by side here. So I'm going to drag the Grasshopper reference, both of these side by side, and then we'll minimize this window here. And now you can see what Sean has set up is some instructions. So it says try moving the point and rectangle in Rhino. So you can select this point and then move it around and see how it affects the Grasshopper definition. Or you can move the rectangle, or I believe even probably scale it and see what that does. And so it's dynamically modifying his Grasshopper definition. So then his step 2, which is very well done, says right click the curve below and choose set one curve. So I'm going to right click on this and choose set one curve, and this lets me pick the curve that I want to reference in that. And now you can see it's changed from orange to gray, so the curve is referenced. And then we're going to right click and set the point, set one point, and I'm going to choose this point, and now those are both defined. And so now he says right click the extrude box, you see, and select bake to choose. So he's done an extrude over here, so that's the next instruction. So if right now this is virtual geometry, this isn't real geometry in Rhino that's manipulatable, but if you right click this and select bake, you can tell it which layer to put it on. I'll just drop it on layer 0, and you can see now that it bakes in a real example of that geometry. And I can turn the shader on so we can see what that looks like. Now that's real geometry that we can manipulate and move. Or I could redefine another one. I could say, well, I want a different version of that, so I want one with it shifted this way. And now I could bake that, and again put it on layer 1 or 2. Let's put that one on layer 2, and now it's baked a new version of that model out. So you can make a bunch of derivative pieces from these. Then we can step back to see how he's done this. So he took the extrude command. I like to go double click and type the word of what I think I want to do. So extrude, and it looks like there's a few options for extrude, and so I'm going to choose one that seems like it might make most sense. and this one looks a little bit different. So actually, I'm going to see what it looks a little different. So it's expecting, this one is expecting a base and a direction. So that's not the same one. So I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to click his and take it and Control-C, Control-V, copy it, just since I want to use the same one. I like to download other people's definitions and then modify them. So I'm going to bring this curve into the base and this point into that point. And now you can see that as I've done that, it's modified this one, this box over here. So you can kind of backtrack and trace your Rhino definitions by clicking on the objects, and you'll notice that if I click on the curve, it's telling me that green is it's referencing that curve. Point is highlighting that point green. This one is selecting this green curve, and then this point is selecting that point. So I can determine which point in the flow I'm manipulating. So here's an extruded point now, and I can take that point and move that this way, or you can move it with other tools. So that's a tremendous example, Sean, and thanks for posting that very clear instruction.